with a single gunshot tearing through the quiet darkness of Vallejo, California in the early hours of July 5, 1969. A young couple attacked on a lonely stretch of road, a frantic call to police, and a voice on the other end calmly confessing to murder. No one knew it yet, but a new kind of fear had just entered the Bay Area. A killer who wanted more than victims. He wanted an audience. For the next several years, the man who called himself the Zodiac played a deadly game with law enforcement, the press, and the public. He wrote letters, sent coded messages, and taunted investigators with details only the killer could have known. He promised more deaths, mocked police efforts, and demanded that his words be printed on the front pages of San Francisco's biggest newspapers. The more attention he got, the bolder he became. But before the letters and the symbols, there were the victims. Real people living ordinary lives. Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday were high school students out on their first official date on the night of December 20th, 1968. They never made it home. Deputies found their bodies on Lake Herman Road in Benicia, both shot at close range. There were no signs of robbery, no signs of sexual assault, just sudden brutal violence without motive. Investigators walked through freezing winter air, collecting shell casings, trying to understand why two teenagers were targeted. No one connected this attack to anything larger. Not yet. Then came July 1969. Darlene Farron and Michael Mageau were sitting in a parked car at Blue Rock Springs Park when a man approached with a flashlight, raised a handgun, and fired multiple shots. Mageau survived and described the attacker as a white male, likely in his late 20s or early 30s. Within minutes, Vallejo police received a call from a man claiming a responsibility. His voice was steady, almost emotionless, and he referenced the Lake Herman murders from the year before. Detectives realized they were dealing with the same offender, and one who wanted to be noticed. In August, the killer escalated. 3 major newspapers, the San Francisco Chronicle, the San Francisco Examiner, and the Vallejo Times-Herald, each received a letter. Inside was a cryptogram, a message made of strange symbols. The writer claimed the code would reveal his identity. He signed the letter with a circle and a cross, a symbol that would soon become infamous. The Chronicle published its portion after consulting with police, and within days, a schoolteacher and his wife cracked the cipher. The message did not reveal a name. Instead, it described the killer's motives and his desire to collect slaves for the afterlife. Chilling words, but still no solid lead. On September 27, 1969, the killer struck again, this time at Lake Berryessa. College students Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard were enjoying a peaceful afternoon when a man wearing a hooded costume approached them with a gun and tied them up. He stabbed both victims repeatedly before walking away. Shepard later died from her wounds. Hartnell survived. Investigators found a message scrawled on Hartnell's car door, the Zodiac symbol, the dates of previous attacks, and the phrase, "by knife." It was his signature, left in plain sight. Just 2 weeks later, on October 11th, San Francisco police responded to the shooting of taxi driver Paul Stine in the Presidio Heights neighborhood. Witnesses saw a man wiping down the cab before calmly walking away. The killer later sent Stine's bloody shirt as proof that he was responsible. In a follow-up letter, he mocked officers for failing to catch him, even claiming he had spoken with police that night without being recognized. Despite an enormous investigation involving local departments, the California Department of Justice, and the FBI, the Zodiac seemed always one step ahead. Composite sketches were circulated. Handwriting experts analyzed the letters. Forensic teams compared ballistics and fingerprints from multiple crime scenes, yet every promising lead faded. One of the earliest persons of interest was Arthur Lee Allen, a schoolteacher with a troubling background. His name arose through multiple tips, and detectives noted some suspicious statements he made. But handwriting analysis was inconclusive. His fingerprints didn't match, and DNA from the letters, though partial and degraded, did not link him. In the eyes of the law, he remained only a suspect. Never charged, never proven guilty. Over the years, other potential suspects emerged, each generating media attention, but none supported by conclusive evidence. Retired homicide investigators have often emphasized the same point. Without solid physical evidence or a confirmed forensic link, naming a suspect publicly risks harming innocent people and misrepresenting the case. Meanwhile, the killer continued writing. His final confirmed letter arrived in 1974, referencing the movie The Exorcist, and again signing off with his symbol. After that, the communications stopped, or at least the ones police could verify. Today, more than half a century later, the Zodiac case remains open in multiple jurisdictions. Modern technology has offered new hope. Forensic teams have attempted DNA extraction from stamps and envelopes. The 340-character cipher, long considered unbreakable, was finally solved in 2020 by a team of private code breakers, revealing a message consistent with the killer's earlier letters, but still not providing a name. The mystery endures. What makes the story of the Zodiac Killer linger is not just the violence, but the shadow he left behind. A reminder of the limits of law enforcement in a world before digital surveillance and the terrifying power of anonymity. Behind the symbols and letters were families whose lives were shattered, communities living in fear, and investigators who carried this case for decades. More than 50 years later, the victims are remembered not for the killer who took their lives, but for the futures they deserved. Young people on their first date, a hard-working taxi driver, friends enjoying a sunny afternoon. Their stories matter far more than the man who tried to define himself through terror. And so, the question still lingers. Who was the Zodiac Killer? And will we ever truly know? Subscribe for more meticulously researched real-life cases from crimes of the century.